When your partner is doing something that is pissing you off and you're so angry and so frustrated and all you want to do is rip them a new one, right? Can you take a moment to pause, step away, come back to the breath, come back to yourself, and zoom out of the situation, right? Having empathy is a muscle that has to be practiced and has to be used. And it's really difficult to choose empathy and choose compassion in those moments that are hard, right? This is such a beautiful tool. And this is one of the things that makes us human. This is such a beautiful tool. And this is one of the things that makes us human, right? Is that we have the ability to zoom out of our experience and see it from a higher view. We are not just animals where we are instinctual and we just react to every moment and just go through it in the day. We have the ability to pause and zoom out of our experience and look down on it and be able to adjust and make pivots. And that goes into being intentional of how you start your day, and it goes into being intentional about how you choose to respond and how you choose to show up in every experience. And when we do this, this is us stepping into higher consciousness. This is us choosing to be an elevated version of ourselves. This is what shows that we have emotional maturity. And this is really what distinguishes being a high quality woman versus being a low quality woman, right? A low quality woman falls into toxic traps. She gets sucked into drama. She gets sucked into situations and doesn't take a second to pause. She just responds in the moment and ends up creating a lot more stress and anxiety and drama in her life. A high class woman, a high quality woman is able to take every experience as a learning opportunity, and also to be able to see the bigger picture out there. And be able to see even people that are not operating at their best, be able to see them for who they are as a bigger person, right? And acknowledge them for the person that they are outside of this one situation, even if that situation is really, really triggering and really, really frustrating to you and not fair to you, right? Humans are constantly going to be triggering us, pushing our buttons, making us want to respond, making us want to react in the moment. But can you be the bigger person in these situations? Can you be able to zoom out and look at who this person is, what their background is, why they may be choosing to show up as this in this moment, and then choosing to treat them as the bigger person that they are, not the person that they are choosing to show up in this exact moment? That is true compassion. That is true empathy, right? This is such a beautiful, beautiful, important part of being an evolved person and continuing to grow and develop in yourself, right? It's easy to get frustrated at people. It's easy to become a victim, say, this person's acting like crap and they're making me feel like crap. This person's not acting the way they should, right? This person needs to be way better for me to feel better about myself, and choose to put that all back on them and say, yes, that would be great. It would be great if everyone just showed up great and allowed me to just be able to feel at peace and relaxed, and I could actually just be a good person. But can we choose to show up and be a good person when people in our life are not treating us well? That's the question, right? And it comes back down to compassion. It comes back down to using this tool of zooming out and taking a second to see things from a higher perspective and saying, okay, this person's really, really triggering me. This person's really not acting very maturely right now. This person is creating a very toxic situation for me to have to live in right now. And this could be your partner. This could be your family. This could be friends. This could be anybody in your life, coworkers. Can we take a second to pause and say, how can I grow from this situation? How can I choose to see this situation differently? Why is this person showing up this way? what could be going on in their life that is causing them to feel like they need to take this out on me in this way? Right? And if I'm able to understand where that's coming from, how can I choose to give them compassion regardless? How can I choose to show up with love from a place of strength, right? There's a difference here, because this is not just about rolling over and taking whatever they're giving you. That's not a high quality woman, right? That's a doormat. We're not talking about that. We're talking about how can I choose to show up in my strength from a higher elevated space and continue to love on them from that space, almost loving down on them, right? In their weakness, but still hold my strength. Not acknowledge and let that behavior be okay, but acknowledge them for who they are and know that we love them regardless. And we're going to send them love regardless. And communicate with them. This behavior is not okay, but I still love you, right? These are my boundaries. These are my needs, but I still love you, right? And this is something that I do a lot of coaching on, right? This is a huge part of self-development work, of relationship work, is how do we relate to others in a loving, respectful, kind way so that we can really embody and emulate the kind of woman that we want to be and the kind of people that we want to have in our life. Most people do not have good role models for how to actually be a loving, kind, respectful, strong, powerful person. And so we tend to slip into easy ways of being, ways that come from the ego, right? That come out of greed, scarcity, fear, insecurity, anxiety. And when we slip into those easy patterns, that's when we don't really show up as our best self. So can you catch yourself in your moments to not slip into those ways of being and to choose the more challenging moment in that moment, or the more challenging path in that moment, but the more elevated path for your life? Because here's the beauty of this. When we choose to show up from compassion, with respect for ourselves, right? But strength for ourselves, but still have that compassion, that strength on the inside, the softness on the outside, as I like to say. We demonstrate what it means to be a high quality woman, high quality person. And more times than not, that person is going to feel that in a very different way. They're going to feel the energy that you're bringing to that situation, and they're going to go, whoa, she didn't respond how I thought she was going to. I thought she was going to start fighting with me because I was trying to pick a fight, right? Or I was trying to dump my stuff on her, and she's not engaging. She's just holding it. And she's making me feel loved. She's making me feel safe. She's making me feel secure. This is not how I was expecting this to go. This is not how most people respond to this when I bring this to them, right? When we can bring that sense of strength and warmth, they usually will respond differently. And it's not only modeling how you want them to respond back to you, but it's showing them that this is how you get to be, right? It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be the dramatic, stressful, toxic way. And they may not be able to respond right away in that moment differently. Sometimes they will, but they're going to remember that interaction. And they're going to remember it the next time they come to you. And maybe, hopefully, you have just shifted that for how they choose to show up in the future. Now, obviously, this is very inspiring. This is very best case scenario. It's not always going to happen that way, but we have to be the models for how we want to show up for everybody in our life. We can't just expect everyone to be perfect around us, and we can't just wish it to be better. We have to be the change that we want to see in the world, right? Mahatma Gandhi. And I know that for a lot of women, it's frustrating. It's like, why do I have to be the one to be the better person here, right? But what is the alternative? The alternative is that neither of you choose to be the better person, and life just continues to be frustrating and toxic and low vibe and dramatic and stressful, right? So my encouragement this morning, as we start our new week, as you go into your weekend, is just to really ask yourself, how can I continue to practice compassion? How can I choose to take the situations that frustrate me, that trigger me, and choose to see it from a higher perspective, from a higher view, and look at everything as an opportunity for me to become and model a better version of myself for everyone around me. And when you do show up in that way, give yourself a huge pat on the back and feel proud of who you're choosing to be every day. Because this is what we need in the world. We need more compassion. We need more love. We need more empathy. We don't always know where people are coming from, and we have to give them the benefit of the doubt. So choose to give them the benefit of the doubt today, and choose to give them that compassion. And I'm sending each of you so much love today as we kick off our day. If there is anything that really resonates with you, please feel to comment down below. I'd love to know what's standing out for you. And as always, if this is something that you need help with or practice with or just want some support with, feel free to reach out to me, and I would love to be able to hold personal space for you with that.